It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
20.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 18 yards there and a first down. A shotgun snap for Newton. Open man is Uzama. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Here we go.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. From the gun, here's Newton. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. A full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And a short gain down to about the 33. Give him a couple on the run there. It'll be 2nd and 13.
Well, obviously, they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now.
Let's go.
And they'll go on the ground. And an alley to run. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it. And boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup. And guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jarek McKinnon. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
The Cardinals into the red zone for the first time. It's 1st and 10 from the 12.
20.
McKinnon. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now McKinnon. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal. The impressive opening drive continues and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
And Newton's going to keep it. And he stopped immediately there. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down.
Oh, yeah, good surge defensively. Sometimes you can just tell by the way a quarterback lines his feet up behind center. He's going to try and sneak it in. And they catch him here and stop him for no gain.
He'll get it up the middle. And he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. It's the fullback, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Cardinals take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Sturgis adds the PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Here we go. What? 9.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. He went backwards 7 yards, setting up a tough 3rd down.
Ohio! 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 Ohio!
On 3rd down, Rice. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now.
On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. So out now come the Cardinals. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain of 39 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Ready to go now in the 2nd quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Any team that runs the toss and runs it successfully, that means they win the battle on the edges. That means you seal the edge in order to let your back get to the corner. They got it done there for a very nice gain.
And they'll run it here. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. And on the ground they go with a running back. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
third down. It's Burnett, and here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a 6-yard pickup. It's still a few chain links short, it appears, with fourth down coming up.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
They're going to run. It's McKinnon. And this is going to be nowhere close. Needed some inches and ended up losing yardage. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Now a handoff looking right. Room past the 20. Oh, some strong. It's a foot race. The 30. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Boswell good with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you got to...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
A first opportunity for the Steelers in the red zone. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Stephon Tuitt, the one that got him down.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
To throw on 2nd down. Rice. Over the middle, it's complete. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll run for it with Montgomery. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
One man in the backfield. That's Gordon. 2nd and goal.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Ty Montgomery, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that makes the score 14-7. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time, 1-play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. Takes this up just short of the 30, but he was able to avoid that earlier tackle. Nice move. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Hey.
Now Newton. And he will find his man on the outside. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. He's up to 70 yards now in this first half receiving as he's got a first down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
20.
Back to throw, Newton. And he's got his man on the out route. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll lose yardage and be down at the 7-yard line. And now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Rice. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. And now the Cardinals are going to use another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Switch!
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. But it's brought in by Washington. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. It'll be a gain of 17 at a Pittsburgh first. Well, he had his eyes on 200 yards last week, earned an AFC Offensive Player of the Week. And he was really, really good. Fun to watch back in tape with you.
It was fun to watch, wasn't it? And he's trying to have the same type of a game in this one. But what was fun watching was how he read the defense. No matter what they presented, he had an answer for it, and that's why he was open during that game.
On 1st down, Rice. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. On 2nd down, Montgomery. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. So we reach halftime here in the Steel City with the Steelers on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, so time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the 3rd quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Steeler offense now with the football first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. To throw on 2nd down. Rice. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Joey Bosa in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. To throw on 3rd down, Rice. And this is caught by Martavis Bryant. And they're able to get this one across the 35. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is going to lose yardage here. And that's a loss of 7 on the first down play.
For me, that was an example of why offensive linemen might want rear-view mirrors at times, because you have your assignments to block, but if you can see what's going on in the backfield and maybe The guy carrying the ball is headed in another direction. It might change what you do up front, but if they can't see that, and he's not in sync with what they're doing up front, but this is when you end up with plays like this. A bad one for the offense, a really good one for the defense.
Going deep here for Bryant. He rifles one that's intercepted. Isaiah Oliver with the INT. And he'll bring it all the way back, just a yard or two shy of midfield. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road in just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Just his second incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And this is going to be incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Off the play fake. Rice. He's got a man. It's Corey Coleman. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 10 more there and another 1st down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Off play action. Rice. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
Well, the great coach has said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush won, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. A give. This is Montgomery. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult third down call now.
And the Steelers on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Looking to throw. Rice. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And Boswell's kick is good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason.
On the ball, on the ball, on the ball, on the ball. Express!
Now Newton on first down. He finds McKinnon, complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Now they'll run it on the toss. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Let's rock now.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Greg.
Now a play fake, and it's Newton. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. On third down, Newton. He sets to fire deep. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the third quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the fourth quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
Flex round! Flex round!
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Rice. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush.
Back now in Pittsburgh. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. Operating from the gun. Rice. Over the middle, the catch by Coleman. Now a loose football. Coleman lost it. And this is recovered by the Cardinals.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th. And they'll run it here. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Now it's Newton. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Third and long. It's Newton. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. The screen does get him 9, but it also brings up a fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
The Steelers' offense now, they head back onto the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy.
The ball comes out, and this is recovered by the Cardinals. Anything to make of this or just a bad stretch? Because he had the 2 fumbles he lost last week and now a third.
It's a bad stretch, but it's one that he has to make sure he overcomes. This isn't on anyone else but him. Taking care of the ball, tucking it away, keeping it high and tight, all the while doing that and not slowing down his running and his ability. To move the ball forward.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Here we go. White 90. White 90.
Following the fumble recovery, Rice. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And the Steelers on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9.
Ohio. Ohio.
From the gun, Rice. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Isaiah Oliver with the INT. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Now following the interception, here's Newton. That's caught by his tight end, Uzama. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And a nice gain of 21 yards. Newton now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Here we go.
Play action. It's Newton. Buying time to his left. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. In for the score. And the Cardinals are just an extra point away from tying this game. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they... Pressure comes and the Cardinals bring him down. Joey Bosa in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Come on, let's go. Try and 38. Try and 38. Hey, watch it.
Operating from the gun. Rice. And pressure gets to him again.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Flex round. Ohio.
From the gun, Rice. Now he'll let it go deep left side. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Here's Matt Bosher now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. Now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Go with the ground attack here. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
But it was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Here's Newton now on 2nd down. Going right side here, and that's complete. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good gain. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this.
Here
The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. Toss play to McKinnon. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
Come on now. Great. Do something. Hey. Great.
Newton firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Cardinals got to go quickly, hustling to the line. They run it with McKinnon. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Let's rock now.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Down right around the 25. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the 4th.
Come on now.
And they'll go on the ground, down to the 25. And the Steelers signal for another timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. The Cardinals on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 8. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Oh, no, he lost the football. And it looks like Steeler football. It is.
I think we just saw an example of a game situation that I know is discussed, practiced to the nth degree, go right out the window, and a chance to win the game as well.
Yeah, protect the football. On the other side, you're taught to get in there and rake it out. They did just that.
I mean, they go over this starting in OTAs and mini camps. You go through these situations, and that's the way a lot of teams like to end practice. Finish it off with this type of a drive, kick the game-winning field goal. Everyone feels good and heads to the locker room. In this case, though, they're not going to feel so great about it.
All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
And the Steelers set to take the field. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you've got a decision. Are you in field goal range, or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. Back to throw. Being chased out left. He's going to let it fly. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Cordray Tankersley with a pick. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. That had disaster written all over it. You've got a right-handed quarterback, a rolling left, and throwing it pretty far downfield.
It's really difficult to do, to try and get your body twisted around into the proper position and get anything on the ball as you heave it downfield. And that's what it actually turns into, a heave And that's not really a good throw, is it?
Not good, and we saw the result. So good field position for the Cardinals as they come up 1st and 10. And this one going to wrap up with Cam Newton going down to a knee. So with that knee, 3 weeks in the books, and they creep above 500 now at 2-1.
You know, I played with a guy once after taking a knee at the end of the game, and he came in and grabbed the equipment manager and said, make sure you wash that spot, you know, special, because I just took a knee for a win. That tells you how much guys enjoy that, because getting a win, no one takes it for granted.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Cardinals, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, they too will exit with a 2-1 record. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Los Angeles Rams. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.